Hey there, it's Wayfair here, where delivery and setup are as easy as a few taps on your phone. You're relaxing in an old hammock, scrolling Wayfair's app, when you spot it, a brand new patio set. Next thing you know, Wayfair delivers it right to your patio and sets it up. Oh, you need a new grill too? All right, Wayfair's got you covered. With Wayfair's Room of Choice delivery and fast expert setup on qualifying orders, life gets a little easier. Visit wayfair.com or the Wayfair app.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Welcome to the Black Tax. There's an African proverb that says, a family is like a forest. When you're outside, it is dense, but when you are inside, you see each tree has its place. Oftentimes, we are forced to have relationships with individuals we don't want to have relationships with because they are family members. Oftentimes, we kind of just go along to get along because they're not a part of our everyday life. We see them once in a while and we kind of put up with their nonsense and their bullshit just out of respect for an elder in the family. I have a half sister who currently is married to the cousin of an A-list celebrity. She is in Los Angeles, passing for white. Now, we don't really get along. She doesn't care for me. She tried to kill me twice. She pushed me out of a car, getting onto a highway when I was 4 or 5. She pushed me down a flight of stairs. And I have a huge gash under my chin. And of course, she played victim and innocent like a pretend white woman would. But we moved on, and my parents was like, she's unstable, then we don't need to be around her. At least Malik doesn't need to be around her. So the space and the gap began. I have moved to LA. I'm making my rounds. I'm going to A-list celebrity events, private parties. Like, I'm on the scene, making my connection, doing my thing. My half sister, who is half white, is living in Los Angeles. Allegedly, she and I are both agents at boutique firms, but I never see her at any celebrity-driven A-list event at any time during any award season. So I don't know why, but that's not my business. That ain't my monkey. That ain't my circus. I got my own shit to deal with. So she represents an artist who is making his directorial debut with an actor from a series called Noah's Ark, who was the lead actor who wanted to be a singer. Thought you just had right there? I had the same thought. So a friend and I, we go and we're at this bar in Melrose and everybody's hanging out. And, you know, there are some people that I know and I'm, hey, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? You know, it's the cast of characters trying to get on the A-list, but they're really not even on a list group of people. So we go, I'm like, okay, I need a drink. I go get me a gin and tonic. And while I'm at the bar, my brother-in-law, my sister's husband, walks up. And I was like, hey, what are you doing here? He's like, what do you mean, what am I doing here? What are you doing in California? He says to me. And I was like, I live in California. Your sister didn't tell me you live in California. I don't know why she didn't tell you that. I told her before I moved here that I was moving here. I've talked to her a couple of times and she just completely ignored me. I got the message. Well, how long have you been here? 7, 8 years? And he's like, what? I said, yeah. I said, is she here? He's like, yeah. Her client is premiering his directorial debut tonight. I was like, oh, okay. So the director is a friend of my friend. So he wants me to meet him. So as he finds him and he finds me and he starts introducing, she walks up and doesn't see me at first. And the director introduced my sister to my friend as his agent. And I turned back around and I was like, hey, what's going on, sis? And she's like, hey, how are you? And so the client then says, oh, you two know each other. And she says, yeah, I know Malik. I know Malik from New York. Now, clearly, the look on my face is like, no, this bitch didn't. So I say, you know me from New York? And she's like, yeah, what's the big deal? So the client then says, what's the problem? You guys know each other from New York. And I look her in her face and I say, I'm going to give you a moment to correct this before I do. And she's like, what are you talking about? Why are you acting so strange? I look her client in the face and I say, yes, we know each other from New York, but she's my sister. And he was like, oh, oh, your stepsister. I was like, nope, she's my half sister. We have the same father. And the client looks at my sister and is like, you're black? And then she was like, I can't stand you. And she walks away. So my friend was like, damn, Malik, was that necessary? And I was like, listen, I don't play these games. I'm not doing this family secret bullshit. I'm not going to pretend that I'm something I'm not. This is what you're going to get. You don't like it. Most people don't. I don't give a fuck. So the night is over. I am heading home. My friend was like, damn, Malik, that was rough. I was like, fuck her. Fuck her. She treats me like shit. Fuck her. She's not going to be disrespectful to me in public, especially in an industry where we both work. And she wants to pretend. I'm not going to pretend. I'm not going to play her game. So a few weeks go by and I get a call from my aunt. And my aunt was like, hey, what's going on? I was like, hey, what's happening? You all right? She's like, no, I just want to talk to you about what happened between you and your sister. And I was like, okay. And she was like, listen, you need to apologize for what you did because it was wrong. And I was like, A, I'm not apologizing. B, if that means we don't talk again, I'm okay with that too. And C, fuck her, and hang up the phone. My cousin called and was like, hey, what's going on? I was like, if you're calling here to give me advice about what I should do and what I need to apologize for, let me stop you right now because I will hang up from you and disconnect you from my life as well. I think we get into these points of places and time where family think they can talk to you any way they want to. And I know I talked about this before, but I was talking about my mom's side, and this is my dad's side. There's nothing worse than being the grandchildren, great grandchildren of an immigrant who cast down buckets so that her lineager would end up being the talented 10th. And there are often times when those individuals will snub their nose at me, scoffing that they believe they're better, when in actuality, they are not. I am the most educated member of my family. I hold the most degrees in my family. That does not make me better. Let me state that now. But I am the hope and the dream of a former enslaved woman and an immigrant. And I take that with such pride and prestige because I am the antithesis. Ooh, this word is going to work my nerves. I am the antithesis. You know what the fuck I mean. I am the center of 4 generations of getting to a place where we can live freely, openly as who we are. I'm not going to pretend that I don't have a half sister. I'm not going to pretend that she's white and play her game so she can live in a white world in California, in Los Angeles, one of the most racist places I have ever lived. Even more racist than when I lived in the South. And trust me, this was a shock to me. Hell, it's even more racist than parts of Boston. And that's saying a lot, but I digress. When people want you to go along with their fakeness, subconsciously you begin to believe it's okay to be a little fake. And then what happens, a little fake turns into a little bit more fake. A little bit more fake turned into being fake. And before you know it, you've completely become something that you're not. It's everyone looks at Instagram and see people going on these trips and living these amazing lives, and they're living fabulously, and they're traveling and they're shopping. But the question I need you to always ask is how recent is that trip? How new is that bag? Were they in the store when they bought it? Did they actually walk out the store with the bag, or are they pretending that they bought the bag? What is it that the imagery is selling versus who the person actually is? Faking the funk Sometimes you got to play the game to get in the door. But living faking the funk, you can have the greatest fall, the greatest tumble, because the truth of who you are is the most authentic space that anybody should live in. You want people to see you for you, not the you pretend to be. So remember, being authentic, authentically yourself, is so much easier than pretending to be something you're not. Because as long as you pretend to be something you're not, you forget who you were, what your struggles were, and how you got to the beautiful space that you currently are in right now. Success is not about faking it. Success is about loving you for who you are. Stay woke. We're out.